Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to week two. Um, let's get into it. Rocking the Yukon gear today. Why not? Gotta keep the mind right, stay positive. So, for some effort. My co-teacher is once again slacking on the job here. Really just not earning his pay or his treats. But I'll deal with him later, I guess. Disciplinary, disciplinary action will be required. So much like last week, I don't have to explain too much content. I'm just going to take you through the directions for what you guys have to do this week. So let me remove my face again. It's weird trying to talk and see my face at the same time. So goodbye. Um, I'm going to ask you to start with again this Google Forms. This is about trench warfare. This had a huge impact on the way the war was fought. The one thing I'll say about it is the war started in around June and July of 1914, and there were a lot of people. Each country figured it was going to be over by Christmas of that year, and they all felt that way because of what you looked at last week. With they felt they had strong allies that would help them win the war. They were very confident in their military power, right, with all the militarism, and we'll get more into that today as well. People thought this was going to be over in 5 to 6 months, but instead it lasted 4 years. And a big reason for that is this was a big shift in the way that wars were fought because of the new technology that's in place, which you're going to look at today. Um, it forced countries to change their strategies. So if you think about like old movies that show battle scenes, whether it's the ancient Romans or movies about the American Revolution or the Civil War, and you see all the soldiers lining up and facing each other across the field. It seems really odd that they would do that, but they kind of had to because the weaponry they had was not very accurate, and your best chance of hitting the other person was actually being wide out in the open like that. But the technology and the weaponry got so much better. The Every country had to create a better defense strategy, and that's where trench warfare comes into play. And it's going to grind the war to a halt. Um, and you have people living in these trenches for years, fighting for a football field's worth of territory and just trading it back and forth and not making any advances. So once again, you'll watch this little video to see how that really worked, and then a couple quick responses based on the video. Then after that, you could begin the other activities for the week or the class period, either way. We're going to start with the Schlieffen Plan. This was the German battle strategy, and it was critically important because uh, it it helps us understand the thought behind why countries felt like, oh, hey, we can wrap this war up in a couple months. Because that's what the Germans felt. And this plan they thought was going to lead them to that quick victory. But then you'll see why it didn't work out that way. So after this first page is the reading. Okay, it goes down a little bit past that. So after you complete the reading, there's this chart to complete, and then this question to answer. So let's start with the chart. So the first thing is you want to describe the reasoning that was created for the Schlieffen Plan. Okay, this includes looking at reasons why Germany wanted to set up this plan. Okay, an example of a good response. Okay, so this is from me. They could overtake France before Russia had its military ready. So you see, I put that in there for you guys already. Number two, describe based on the article what was Germany's fears. Okay, because understanding their fears is going to help us understand why they made the decisions they made. And these should be related. So you see how my reasoning and the German fears are connected. Okay, by taking France, it would save Germany from fighting both France and Russia at the same time. So here you go. They could overtake France before Russia had its military ready. That represents the German fear. It's very difficult to fight a war, obviously. It's even more difficult if you. Here, I'll go down to this map real quick to help explain that. Here's France to Germany's west, and over here, slightly off the map, is Russia to Germany's east. If you had to fight both at the same time, you're not going to be as strong, right? You have to split your forces. Some of them have to go to France, some of them have to go to Russia. Uh, so the thought was, if you follow these arrows, take out France real quick and then turn the troops around and head to the east to fight Russia. Okay. So from here, you guys are going to add a second point, another one, and then DJ Khaled voice, everybody. Another one. Yeah, I spelled it wrong. Okay. Hard to type and talk like DJ Khaled at the same time. All right, so you'll have 4 points total in both boxes. And then when you're done with the chart over here, why didn't the Schlieffen plan work for Germany? So you're going to just now look at everything as a whole and see what mistakes they made, what bad decisions they implemented, and explain why it didn't work. Okay. So that'll be the first part for today to help us understand how the warfare played out. And the second, pretty straightforward. So a lobbyist, this is somebody who speaks up for a cause. You might look at them as somebody who is uh, trying to persuade, usually government figures, uh, and they often represent one particular interest. Um, so there's a lot of like oil lobbyists, or the NRA is a gun lobby, or they have lobbyists that live and work in Washington D.C. and they talk with politicians to try to create laws that benefit them. So we're going to kind of put you in those shoes where you're going to look at uh, 3 of the 5 new weapons technologies that we listed. Okay. You can, if you want, work with a partner. Okay. And if you do, you guys have to complete 4 of the weapons in total. And you can see here what you need in each box. So you click on each example to get the resource. So that one's an article about planes and how they adapted. Submarines is also an article. I think there might be a video in there somewhere, but I think they're all articles, right? And these are articles just at the end of the document here. So again, if you're working alone, pick 3 of them. Totally up to you. If you decide to partner up, you only have to submit 1 doc. Just make sure you put both your names up there, and then you have to do 4 of the 5. Once you've selected what you want to do, here's how the chart works. You come here, weapon 1. So let's say I want to talk about tanks. And then I'm going to describe the strengths. And over here, describe weaknesses. And then this last box is where I'm sort of acting as the lobbyist. And I'm just trying to be a little more persuasive in explaining to you, the government, why you would want to buy this new technology and use it for the war. So how is it going to benefit you in the war? Let's think about that. Think about explaining how will this benefit the government in the war. Okay? And then once you knock out one of these, you go down to your second one, third, and then if you're with a partner, you'll do the 4th. If you're working alone, you just ignore it, delete it at the bottom, whatever you want. Okay, so once again, that's it. Whatever questions and stuff that you guys have, please let me know, and I will see you in the Google Meet that we set up for our 2-hour time block. All right, have a great day, everybody.